Prayer walking. That's how it all began. In the spring of 2017, Eric and a small group of other men had been meeting, praying, and working through possibilities of what to do with a recently closed church in the Sheridan Parkside community in the town of Tonawanda. As a lifelong Tonawanda resident, Eric was a logical choice to be a part of the team. As Eric spent time driving and walking through the community, God's calling became clear, and a vision began to form. In December of that same year, the keys were given to Eric, and a new work of ministry at 78 Pyle Court began. Eric began to form a network of relationships with people who were already involved in the lives of those living within the Sheridan Parkside neighborhood. Sheila Ciceri and Ellen Keller were instrumental in introducing Eric to people within the neighborhood who had great needs and were open to a pastoral visit. Through these encounters, Eric began to establish himself as the neighborhood pastor, and he began to see the many needs present within the community. During this time, Eric also began to build what he called donut bridges. He delivered donuts weekly to Holmes Elementary School, establishing a connection that would impact the trajectory of our work in Sheridan Parkside. Two key things happened through this relationship with Holmes Elementary and Principal Matt Raines. First, we learned that school attendance was problematic for kids attending Holmes Elementary because access to washers and dryers was a huge need for many community residents. Second, we were introduced to employees of Lindy Praxair, who would grow to become wonderful partners as we established the Sheridan Parkside Life Center. Relationship also formed with the Kenton Closet, a clothing pantry for kids in the town of Tonawanda. The closet had grant money designated for the purchase of washers and dryers, but nowhere to house the appliances. Armed with the knowledge of how to help the community in a meaningful way by providing a free laundromat and the means to accomplish that goal, we began the rehabilitation of the church building at 78 Pyle Court in March of 2018. Demolition was thorough. There were so many structural, electrical, and plumbing problems that had to be addressed. Funding was never abundant, yet God provided abundantly in a number of ways. The onset of the COVID pandemic slowed our construction efforts significantly, but the work of creating the space needed to accomplish the goals of bringing dignity, value, and joy to our neighbors in Sheridan Parkside continued on. During these years of building rehab, we continued to form relationships with community members through a health fair, Halloween events, neighborhood cookouts, and even a Christmas tree lighting. As the restrictions of the pandemic began to lift, we eagerly completed the necessary building repairs so that we could open the building to the public. In May of 2021, we opened the Sheridan Parkside Life Center. We began by offering laundry appointments every Tuesday, as well as an adult clothing pantry to our clients. From there, our programs and our hours expanded. Panera Bread donations and some other shelf-stable foods were made available to our clients. Healthy nutrition and cooking classes were started. More and more residents began to visit us as word spread about the new church on Pyle. Over the past 3 years, we have worked diligently to establish trust within the community. We have done that largely by sharing a meal with our clients when they come into the Life Center for our various programs. These simple meal times have been such a source of joy to us as we have gotten to know our friends. We've cried and laughed. We've listened and encouraged, and we've earned the ability to speak life and love into the hearts and minds of those who so desperately need it. We spend our days now, as always, with our ears leaning in to hear the needs of our neighbors. And when we hear of them, we run to assist in any way we can. The Life Center is a place of hope because of many of you who hear this message today. You are a significant part of the lifeblood that flows to heal the brokenhearted in our 1 square mile neighborhood. Let us continue to listen and to run the course, to hear and to go, to offer dignity, value, and joy to our neighbors.